Of course, that data among many that the Fed's going to be crunching in this two-day policy meeting. And we are seeing Treasury yields trading pretty flat ahead of that decision expected tomorrow. The 10-year T-note yielding about 1.5% right now. The central bank isn't expected to make any policy changes this time around, but investors certainly going to be looking for any signals on the timing of potential tapering of asset purchases. Our very own Brian Cheung is always on top of that meeting with a preview for us. Brian, what should investors be looking for?
Well, Kiko, the question is taper talk, taper talk, taper talk. Could this be the meeting where the Federal Reserve first hints at tapering or slowing its $120 billion a month pace of asset purchases? Now, on one hand, we've seen those inflationary figures go up, just as Emily was talking about, with the producer price index showing the fastest year over year, or rather 12-month gain since the data set began in 2020. We see similar trends with the consumer price index, which came in for the month of May at the hottest year-over-year rate since August of 2008. So will that pressure Federal Reserve officials to maybe start talking about pulling back its unprecedented accommodation? For what it's worth, we've had a number of discussions here on Yahoo Finance, including with New York Fed President John Williams, about their higher tolerance for a hot economy and whether or not that could spur any sort of taper talk. Take a listen to that conversation from 2 weeks ago.
We're talking about how the economy is doing, where we see it going, and understanding how that's may play out over coming months, and really be thinking about those going forward. Right now, my view is we're not near the substantial further progress marker, but of course we always need to be analyzing where we are in the economy, where is that relative to our maximum employment and price stability goals. And really, how do we get monetary policy positioned well to achieve those goals, over coming years?
Okay, so you're not going to bring up that conversation in 2 weeks?
Bring up the
tapering conversation.
No, I think that we should be thinking through all of the issues around the economic recovery, and thinking about thinking about policy options in the future. I just don't think the time is now to take any actions on it.
And I want to remind our viewers that conversation was from 2 weeks ago, but you could kind of hear the New York Fed president whiffling a little bit with regards to that talk about possibly talking about tapering. Now, of course, we've seen the Philadelphia Fed president, Dallas Fed president, including a Fed governor, Randall Quarles, talk about their appetite to kick off those discussions now. So it seems like people flipping from team transitory to team, maybe tapering, which would be something a little bit more interesting if there could be some Fed officials with the other side of that debate. But again, we won't have that policy decision until tomorrow afternoon. And of course, we'll have the full coverage of that and the press conference right here on Yahoo Finance.
Okay, Brian Cheung, as always, on top of that for